Welcome to my maths class. In this class, we'll solve sums from NCERT textbook, class 9, chapter 2, Introduction to Linear Polynomials, end of chapter exercises. It's on page number 39, question 13. The sum says, let px be equal to ax plus b and qx be equal to cx plus d be the two linear polynomials such that the graph of px passes through points 2, 3 and 6, 11 and the graph of qx passes through point 4, minus 1. Also, the graph of qx is parallel to graph of px. So here there are two polynomials px and qx, and we need to find these two. Find the polynomials px and qx. Also find the coordinates of the point where these lines meet the x-axis. So here we have been given two polynomials px and qx, and we need to find both the polynomials. And they are given us that graph of px passes through 2, 3, 6, 11. The graph of qx passes through 4 and minus 1. Also, the graph of qx is parallel to parallel to graph px. Okay, so now we will start the sum. First we will try to find the polynomial px. So px equal to px is equal to ax plus b. This is the polynomial. So when this is the polynomial, the equation of the graph of px will be of the form of the graph of px will be y equal to ax plus b. This is the equation of the graph of px. Okay, we have been given that the graph of px passes through points 2, 3 and 6, 11. Since the graph of px passes through point 2, 3 these coordinates satisfy the above equation. the above equation. That means these coordinates satisfy this equation. So I can put the value of x and y in this equation. So this equation will become y is 3. So 3 will be equal to a into 2 plus b. So 3 will be equal to 2a plus b. So if I write it like this, 2a plus b equal to 3, I will get the equation 2a plus b equal to 3. I will label this equation as 1. Now, also the graph of px passes through point 611. So I can put these values in this equation. Y is equal to x plus b. So value of y is 11. 11 will be equal to a into 6 plus b. So 11 will be equal to 6a plus b. So I can write it as 6a plus b is equal to 11. I will label this equation as 2. So solving if I solve this equation 1 and 2, I will get the value of a and b. Solving equations 1 and 2 by substitution method. By substitution. Substitution method. So equation 1 is 2a plus b equal to 3. So this is equation 1. From this equation, I will transpose 2a to the right side. B will be equal to 3 minus 2a. So I will label this equation as 3. Now, substituting the value of b in equation 2. Because this value of b I got from equation 1. So I will substitute this in equation 2. So when we substitute, what we will get? The equation 2 is 6a plus b equal to 11. So instead of b, I would write 3 minus 2a. So 6a plus 3 minus 2a equal to 11. So here 6a minus 2a is 4a. 4a plus 3 equal to 11. So 4a will be equal to 11 minus 3. So 4a is equal to 11 minus 3 is 8. So a will be equal to 8 by 4. 8 by 4. So that is a is equal to 2. So value of a is got here. So we will substitute the value of a in equation 3. Substituting the value of a in equation 3. In equation 3. So what is equation 3? B equal to 3 minus 2a. So value of a is what? So b will be equal to 3 minus 2 into 2, because value of a is 2. So b will be equal to 3 minus 4. So b is equal to minus 1. So here I got the value of b. So now we have found the value of a and b. By using the value of a and b, we can find out the polynomial px. So px so we can find the value of px. Px is equal to ax plus b. So we will put the values of a and b in this. So px will be 2x minus 1. A is 2, b is minus 1. So we have found px. We have found the polynomial px. Next we will try to find the polynomial qx. So now qx is equal to cx plus d. Qx is equal to cx plus d. Now we will try to find the value of c and d. So the equation of the graph of px. So the equation of the graph of px graph of qx will be y equal to cx plus d. Y equal to, so this is the equation of the graph of qx. Since the graph of qx passes through the point 4 minus 1 these coordinates satisfy the above equation. Satisfy the above equation. That means 4 and minus 1 will satisfy this equation. So we can put the values in that equation. Y is minus 1. So minus 1 will be equal to C into 4. X value is 4 plus D. So minus 1 is equal to 4C plus D. I can write the equation as 4C plus D is equal to minus 1. This equation I will label it as 4, equation 4. Cx plus D equal to minus 1 is the equation 4. So now we have been given that the graph of Px is parallel to graph of Qx. Since the graph of Px is parallel to graph of Qx, since the graph of Px is parallel to graph of Qx, the slope of, when the two graphs are parallel, the slopes also are equal. The slope of Px will be equal to slope of the graph of Qx. Slope of Px will be equal to slope of Qx. So now what is Px? Px is equal to 2x minus 1. So the slope of the graph of Px will be 2 because this is the value of A. A shows the slope. So slope of Px is equal to 2. So slope of Qx is also will be equal to 2. So the equation of Qx is, that is 4. Cx 4c plus d minus 1. Since the slope is 2, the value of c will be 2. Therefore, c is equal to 2. You can see here the slope of Qx is 2. The equation of Qx is 4c plus d. So this shows the slope. So C will be equal to 2. So here we got the value of C here. Next now, you have to find the value of D. So we will put the value of C in equation 4. Substituting the value of C in equation 4. This equation, value of C we will substitute. So it will become 4 into 2 plus D is equal to minus 1. So 8 plus D will be equal to minus 1. So D will be equal to minus 1 minus 8. So D will be equal to minus 9. Here we got the value of D here. Since we know C and D, we can find the polynomial QX. So now QX is equal to CX plus D. So we can find the QX. QX is equal to C is 2. So 2x minus 9. So we have found the polynomial QX. We have found both the polynomials. We have found Px and Qx. Next we have to find out the coordinates of the points where the graphs of Px and Qx cut the x-axis. So we have to find out find the coordinates of the point where these lines meet the x-axis. So we have to find the coordinates of the point where the graphs of Px and Qx cut the x-axis. So now we will take Px. What is Px? Px is equal to x minus 1. So this is we have found the polynomial Px. Now we should find the coordinates of the point where the graph of Px cuts the x-axis. So when Px is 2x minus 1, the equation of the graph of Px will be y equal to 2x minus 1. Now, at the point where this line cuts the x-axis, at the point where this line cuts the x-axis, y will be equal to 0. Y will equal to 0. So I will substitute the value of y in this equation. Then we'll get the value of x. So, 0 will be equal to 2x minus 1, or 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So 2x will be equal to 1. So x will be equal to 1 by 2. So x is equal to 0.5. So we got the coordinate of x and the coordinate of y is 0. Therefore, the graph of px cuts the x-axis at the point 0.50. So we have found the coordinates of the point where the graph of px cuts the x-axis, that is 0.5 and 0. Next we will find the coordinates of the point where the graph of qx cuts the x-axis. So now what is qx? Qx is equal to 2x minus 9. 2x minus 9. So now the equation of the graph of qx will be y equal to 2x minus 9. At the point where the graph of qx cuts the x-axis, y will be equal to 0. So I will put the value of y to be 0 and calculate the value of x. So 0 will be equal to 2x minus 9. So 2x minus 9 is equal to 0. 2x equal to 9. X is equal to 9 by 2. So x is equal to 4.5. So we have found the x coordinate, that is 4.5, and the y coordinate is 0. Therefore, the graph of qx cuts the x-axis at the point 4.50. So now we have found the coordinates of the point where the graph of qx cuts the x-axis. So this sum is a bit long, so follow it carefully step by step. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.